before Austin Powers coined the term Jaguar. English GT drivers of the 50s and 60s were scoring Essex girls left and right with their thoroughbred British sports cars.
Hey babe, you wanna go out?
The cars were noisy, burned oil, very stiffly sprung, much like the GT drivers themselves actually, and had electrical systems that would occasionally malfunction and catch fire. Just the same though, they had clout because they were the real deal. Enter the 2007 Jaguar XKR. This stunning coupe is Jaguar's very serious attempt to modernize this heritage and become the British motor company known for exciting sports cars. But does... Okay, I'm sorry, I just can't do this. Everyone knows that Jaguar is owned by Ford Motor Company. I just feel like a wanker, an idiot, talking like this. While Jaguar has certainly tried to distance itself from its parent company, the brand has been widely criticized for losing its edge by way of platform and engine sharing. But contrary to popular belief, the XKR isn't an over-glorified Ford Taurus. In fact, its aluminum chassis isn't shared with anything that sports a Ford badge. But has Jaguar been able to bring those sports car roots up to the rough with the XKR? Or has it, like so many others, become a victim of globalization? Looking at the XKR, you certainly wouldn't accuse it of being American. In fact, you might say it looks like an Aston Martin DB7 or a Vanquish. And you'd be right in that assessment considering they all had the same designer, Ian Callum. But despite this, the car does maintain many of the distinguishing features that define a Jaguar coupe, such as the long hood, the high rear belt line that creates that fastback look, and the oval grille. These characteristics, pre-Callum, herald all the way back to the 1963 E-Type, and in this incarnation, make a perfect canvas for those 19 and 20-inch wheels and quad exhaust. But all's not the bee's knees with the car's exterior. There are some elements that are just plain, well, whatever the British word is for craptacular, such as the awkward-looking vents on the front fenders. They just don't seem to be part of the car. And another botch job is the telescoping antenna in the rear. While it was common on Jags of yesteryear, you don't want to pay $85K for a car and have to worry about snagging your jumbly running through a car wash. Inside, the XKR gives you mixed messages. The driving position is spot on, but the seat's lateral support isn't nearly up to the standards of a sports coupe. Really, there is little change here from the normal XK model, and that's a shame because the cockpit turns into a bloody pinball machine once you start to push the action. But the dog's bollocks, at least inside, is the brilliant touchscreen display. Navigation, climate, audio, phone, and system status can all be controlled from its easy-to-understand touch menus. Think of it as the complete antithesis of BMW's iDrive. Underneath Pinocchio's nose is a burly 4.2-liter double overhead cam V8. This takes the 3,700-pound Jag from 0 to 60 in 4.9 seconds, with a quarter-mile time of 13.4 at 105 miles an hour. And the cat loves to rev, purring at 6,000 RPM all day long, just waiting to pounce on its next victim. The transmission is a 6-speed paddle-shifting automatic that's one of the fastest on the market today, which makes it great for spirited driving on canyon roads. But as quick as it is, it does have a tendency to shift up when you want to hold it in the lower gear. On the B roads, the XKR transitions well, but body roll becomes apparent when pushing it through a turn that doesn't have perfectly even pavement. The suspension's stiffer than the XK, but it's still a tad softer than you'd want in the supposed R version. Turn-in on the XKR is good, and if it does give you any resistance, just give her a little throttle and she'll come around. Understeer is never a problem, and breaking the tires loose is just a function of hammering the throttle instead of giving it a slow feed. There's no shortage of stopping power, thanks to the 14-inch brakes and good pedal modulation. It goes from 60 down to 0 in 115 feet and hits 0.88 G on the skid pad. So now we can answer the question posed at the beginning of this piece. Does the XKR still have that old English sports car character? The quick answer is no, but not for the reasons you'd think. The XKR has the power and the personality to make it more than enjoyable, but after driving it, it's clearly more of a GT than a sports car. It's a status symbol, big power and exotic looks that beg you to take it on a weekend getaway or for a spin down Rodeo Drive. The XKR isn't a poser, it just seems more concerned with convenience and comfort than some of its competitors. Meaning you'd probably opt for the M6 if you wanted a better driver's car in that class. But you'll pay an extra $14K for the German rival. And if you want that old, rigid, noisy British iron ride that'll give you an insect facial, you're looking at a Morgan Arrow or an Ariel Atom anyway. For Web Rides TV, I'm Jeremy Lusk. Cheers.